an ICE employee arrested, caught in a sex trafficking ring, tells the cops, "I'm ICE, boys," as if he has more authority than the police who are investigating sexual trafficking crimes. Put him up. This is an interesting and sad story. So there's this guy in Minnesota. He's a nice employee. He is now one of 16 men arrested in a sex trafficking sting. That's according to the responding police officers in charge of this investigation. They arrested him regardless. They made note. He said, quote, "I'm ICE, boys," he told the responding cops. More than a dozen men have been arrested after trying to solicit what? A minor for sex in Bloomington, Minnesota, according to the police. According to the Bloomington police chief, Booker Hodges, officers started the 3-day sting on November 5th. They used several methods to find people who were attempting to solicit a 17-year-old girl for sex. In all, police arrested 16 men during the investigation, which Hodges called Operation Creep. One of the men, he said, is an employee for ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who could face federal charges, according to the report. So he works as an auditor, okay? Alexander Stephen Back. Put him back up. 41 years of age, auditor with ICE in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, was arrested as part of that operation, Operation Creep. The police chief, Hodges, announced at a news conference on Tuesday, November 8th, according to Back's criminal complaint, which was obtained by People, Back allegedly responded to an advertisement. You have to understand how ridiculous this is, and how utterly evil this is. This guy responded to an advertisement. It was a 3-day sting. We're not talking about an exhaustive investigation. He works for ICE. Responded to an advertisement offering what? Prostitution services. It's like fishing in a barrel, obviously. So there's an advertisement that says prostitutes here. This individual who works for ICE engaged. This was placed by the officers conducting the operation. So an undercover cop posed as a 17-year-old girl named Bella. So Bella texted him that day, quote, here's the quote now. "You okay if I'm a little younger than my ad says? Just want to be honest," according to the complaint. Back allegedly replied, "Sure." Quote, "Okay, cause I am 17 and one guy got hella mad at me," the officer replied. Back asked if they were, quote, "with the cops," end quote. The officer assured him they were not and gave him an address in Bloomington. That one question is evidence of a guilty conscience. Mens rea has been formed. Criminal intent has been established. Needing to make sure that before this deal goes down, there are no police. Are you the police? As a matter of fact, let me ask you, are you the police? As long as you're not the police, we can continue. And so the question, ironically, was probably posed because he's under the impression that if the question is posed directly, that a cop cannot be dishonest. Why else would you ask that? Okay. So he arrives in a vehicle. The vehicle is registered to who? His wife. Went back allegedly, arrived in the vehicle, registered to his other half. Police arrested him, seized his phone. Back is charged with prostitution-related felony offense of hiring or agreeing to hire a person reasonably believed to be under the age of 18, but at least 16. When he was arrested, he said, "I'm ICE, boys," Hodges said during a press conference on Tuesday. And then the chief says, "Well, unfortunately for him, we locked him up." End quote. He was booked into the Hennepin County Jail November 13th. He was released on a $75,000 bond 2 days later, records show. Back could not immediately be reached at a phone number that was public. DHS has placed Alexander back on administrative leave, assuming he's still getting a check. He has not been fired. He was part of an investigation. They have evidence of his actions being complicit in the criminal scheme, according to the allegation. He gets administrative leave. There is no DHS director or executive who's outraged by this. There's an employee for the federal agency who tried to solicit a minor and got caught by a local police department in a 3-day sting because they put an advertisement out in the world that said prostitutes here. I can't imagine that's his first time responding to such a solicitation, let's call it. All right, Senator, this is a dangerous individual who has significant access to a high-level position and a position of public trust at that.
The power, and hopefully he won't be for much longer. And like your point about where is their outrage, they find all kinds of minute stuff to be outraged about, but they should be outraged about this. The man is dumb too, Doc, really. Just I wouldn't have told nobody I work for ICE because I'd be too embarrassed
Right.
for my sisters and brothers and family friends that do work for ICE to malign the integrity of the people who work for ICE, setting aside the raids. I'm not talking about the stuff that they are
Mhm.
directed to do. We got to understand that there are people in suits directing these people to do these raids. But I wouldn't have never told nobody. So he thought what? That was going to get him off the hook for breaking the law? Then you roll up in your wife's car. I mean, come on, dude. Just no respect whatsoever. I mean, it's one thing you about to totally disrespect her all the way, but you roll up in her car. And then my third point, Doc, there are plenty of adults, men and women, who work in this profession. They work in this profession, they grown, and they are for hire. But yet this dude had a propensity for minors.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. It's just sick. It's an absolute sick, and he should, Doc, I hope you follow this one because I want to know
Yeah.
what's going to happen to him for this.
Yeah, and we want to make sure, obviously, that the White House doesn't step in like they did for Tate and probably a few other folk
Yes.
caught up in a similar situation.